everyone, it's me, Aaron, and you know, here on the Professor Thorgy channel, we like to cover everything from the world of geekery, whether it be comic books, movies, or video games. However, if you've been watching our channel over the last few weeks, you know that the world of comic books has been a little bit upsetting. And not to spoil my review that's coming out later this weekend, but movies aren't much better right now. So, I have to place all my faith in video games. Let's do this. Okay. No whammies. Stop! No one in my audience is old enough to get this reference, are they? Yes, over the past week, I've been playing more Overwatch than I feel comfortable admitting to. So today, on Game Room, the show every single week on this channel where we just geek out about video games, I decided I wanted to dedicate it all to Overwatch. And not just because that would give me an excuse to play even more of that great game. No, I wanted to do it because this game has been a blast. It has been so much fun that it deserves to be talked about. Now, I thought about doing a review, but when you do a review, you gotta think about kind of mechanically. You gotta look at all the pros and cons. You gotta really dissect it. But honestly, this game is just so much fun. I didn't want to sit down and just look at it like it's a big machine that you can take apart. No, this game just deserves to be geeked out over. So that's what we're going to do today. Today, we are just going to talk about all that there is to love about Overwatch and why this game works so darn well. Enjoy.
Before this game even came out, I'd fallen in love with it. Heck, the entire internet had. And sure, it's not uncommon for something like that to happen, but it's rare that the final product actually meets our expectations and is worth all that hype. For example,
I just wanted to give that a quick plug and say, I'm really looking forward to Hellboy.
We're really looking forward to it, both of us.
I bet you thought I was going to say something about Street Fighter V again. I'll have you know I can be disappointed in many games. But as I was saying, I have to give props to the creators for coming up with some of the most iconic new characters I've seen in a game in a long time. These aren't just generic Space Marines, they're not bland, faceless characters who could be interchangeable. These are characters who are dynamic and easily identifiable. Walt Disney once said that the key to creating truly great characters is to make a character who you can identify by just seeing the silhouettes, and every single one of these characters passed that test. But it's not just that the designs look cool, and it's not that they're dynamic and recognizable, it's that when you see these characters, their outfits, their stances, their facial expressions, you instantly know who they are. You don't need a long story mode or extended fiction outside of the game to know that Junkrat is a crazy outlaw pyromaniac, Symmetra is a graceful scientist, or Pharah is a badass soldier, because the moment that you look at them, you instantly know that. Think about how rare it is that you can say that about one or two characters in a game, and then realize that this game did that with over 20 of them. And it's not just that they're well designed, but I talk on this channel a lot about the importance of representation in games and comics and all of geek culture in general. And not only are there a ton of female characters, but there are characters from different races, different backgrounds, different body types. This is one of the most diverse casts I've seen in a modern video game, and it's great to think that so many people can pick this game up and find at least some character out there that's going to speak to them. But as I said, you don't need a huge backstory on these characters to know who they are, which is what makes it all the more impressive that they actually gave them one. It is amazing to me how this is a game where the backstory is not important at all. Heck, just thinking about the gameplay here, it would probably make more sense for there to not be a story. I mean, what story could possibly explain why Roadhog, Widowmaker, and Tracer have to push a truck together? Are they on a cross-country trip and they forgot to gas up, so now they have to push it to the next station? No, this story doesn't add anything to the gameplay. But Blizzard decided, screw it, we're gonna give you one anyways. And it wasn't just a little story, not just something that you would find on the back of the box. They spent their time to work on the rules and the history of this world, of these characters, and of this team. They put out so many bits of information and videos on these characters that we weren't just saying, yeah, I guess a story mode would be nice. Instead, we're screaming, give us a story mode now, I'll pay for it. I've said it many times and I stand by it. I don't just want a comic book set in this world. I want 21 comics, each of them ongoing, one for each of these characters, because each of their backstories sounds so great and this whole world is so impressive. I want to read about each of their adventures. But enough about the characters and the stories. This is a video game, and all that doesn't mean much if the gameplay isn't solid. And before I talk about the gameplay, I just want you all to understand that I stink at first-person shooters. I suck at them, especially team-based shooters, and I've never even been much of a fan of them in the first place. I'll pick them up for a day or two, and then after that I drop them. They don't hold my interest past that. Now, that being said, the gameplay in Overwatch is freaking amazing and I can't stop playing it. This gameplay is so much fun. Sure, there are only 3 types of arenas: push a truck, capture a space, or capture a space while the other team defends. But because every single character plays so differently from each other, it makes every game feel different. Some characters work great on attack, some work great on defense, some work great on one field, some work great on another field, and each character seems to work best against a specific other character in order to counter them. It's like Pokemon with rocket launchers. And to make sure that you have the maximum amount of fun and you don't get stuck in a match where you just can't win, you can actually change your character throughout the game so that way you can counter whatever your opponent's plan is and whatever character they've chosen. And the great thing about that is that they're actually encouraging you to play new characters and experiment. I can't stand it when a fighting game comes out and I go online and everyone is just playing as the same one character. But you can't do that in Overwatch, because in this game, different situations call for different characters. I used to hate Widowmaker and Symmetra. I just couldn't make them work, and I couldn't stand the Hollywood level. I constantly lost on that level. But now, after playing that game for a week, I love the Hollywood level. And I love Widowmaker and Symmetra because I realize they're the best characters for me to use on that level. I repeat, for me to use. You might be best with a completely different character, and that's great. Everybody is going to be best with a different character on a different field. It is so rare that in a game where you have a group of characters this large, they actually give you a reason to play around with them all. I've been playing ever since this game came out, and there are still some characters I haven't even touched yet because there really is that much to learn about them. And once you realize how to play as each of these characters, you realize they're each pretty well balanced. I remember one match where I kept dying, and not just dying, but getting creamed by players who knew exactly what they were doing, and after a night of that, I threw my hands up and said, okay, well this character is clearly broken. Mei freezes me in seconds and I couldn't do anything, she's clearly broken. Hanzo can one-shot multiple people with his ricochet arrow, he's broken too. Reaper can just teleport behind you and take you out in a few shots, he's broken too. And then, after I started listing off all those characters, it hit me. This is a game where everyone is broken so long as you know what you're doing. Each character can be amazing. They can each be top tier if you take the time to learn them. And when every character is broken, then none of them are. Except for Bastion and Torbjorn. Yeah, those guys need to be nerfed, and they need to be nerfed now. Oh wow, play of the game. Way to go, Torbjorn. Let me guess, you put something on the ground and then walked away from it. Way to go, Chief, you're a real hero. Okay, sorry about that. This is a Geek Out session. We're talking about the positives, and in the end, the most positive thing about this game is that it is fun. The development team said that their #1 rule when making this game was to ask, does it make it fun? And if the answer was yes, then they put it in. That's why you have unlimited ammo, can change characters in the middle of a match. It even describes many of the things about the design of this world. They actually said that they made all the cars hover cars because they said that it was more fun than regular cars. And honestly, I have to respect that. The fun thing, not the car thing. Because yes, I want games that are huge and have dramatic and epic storylines with twists and turns, but when I've had a long day at work and it's late and I just want something fun, I want something I can sit down with and enjoy no matter whether I win or lose, and that's what Overwatch is. And perhaps the most fun thing about this game is that it's a game about heroes, and it makes you actually feel like a hero as you play it. Yes, you might not get play of the game, you might not get whatever that card upvote thing is at the end of the game, but in each game, you will do something that you can point to and go, hey, I did that. I made a difference. Maybe you took out a turret that was pushing your team back. Maybe you held the point for a few seconds when no one else could. Maybe you didn't do any of that, but you at least distracted your enemy long enough so that someone else could do something. When you play this game, you really feel like what you're doing is having an effect on the end goal. There's no one person who can just run in and win the game for everyone. Aside from these two. But aside from them, there is no one person. It is a team effort, and you really feel like you are adding to that team. So take all of that, and the fact that Blizzard, a company that is known for supporting their games for years and years, has said that every new character they create will be free DLC, even when they know that people are willing to pay for them, as well as a ton of customizations that you have the option to either pay for, or, get this, actually unlock in the game. What a crazy idea! And Overwatch is easily one of the most enjoyable times I've had with a game this year, and it's a game that is worth geeking out over. So let me know in the comments down below how you feel about Overwatch. And I hope that you enjoyed this video because I'm having so much fun with this game that I have plenty of other videos coming up this month all about Overwatch. In fact, you can go ahead and consider this an unofficial Overwatch theme month for Game Room. So if you want to see these videos, then make sure that you hit that subscribe button and follow me on Twitter and Tumblr at Professor Thorgy for more. So thanks again everyone for watching, and come back next time.